All right, so have you ever noticed that believers in Jesus, if they really believe in him and obey his teachings, they're not the villains of society. It's the ones that don't believe in him that are the villains of society, that are the murderers, the massacre warmongers. And Jesus didn't promote war making. In fact, he told us to love our enemies. He told us to bless those who persecute us and curse us, to do good to those who hate us, spitefully use us. So, very interesting. Look through history. Some of the heroes of history, like Martin Luther King Jr., changed the world with his dramatic and obvious obedience to Jesus to love his enemies. He said, love is the only way to turn an enemy into a friend. Mahatma Gandhi acted more like a Christian than most Christians, so-called. He really believed that Jesus was amazing. He said, an eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. And Jesus came to override that old covenant command. He doesn't want us to do that anymore. Einstein believed obeying Jesus could solve all the world's social ills. And we all know he was a genius. So, and then meanwhile, Hitler and Antifa and Hamas, which actually means violence in Hebrew, they are killing and murdering people, and even people that have called themselves Christians through the ages, who have committed atrocities and murdered. They weren't obeying Jesus. It's just they weren't true Christians. They were imposters. So it's a sad reality, but there's always going to be deceivers and snakes. But we need to love. Jesus loved Judas. He even called him friend. How could he do that when Judas was indwelt by Satan himself? And Jesus knew that. He knew that. Interesting. I think he did it for our example, to leave an example that we should follow in his steps, that we should love everyone. We shouldn't decide, oh, he's got an evil spirit, I can kill him. No. That's why when Peter went to chop someone's head off and chopped off their ear when they ducked, he was rebuked sharply by Jesus. He said, enough of this, put your sword away. Whoever lives by the sword will die by the sword. And Jesus wants us to love. That's what he came to do, to give life. He said, I did not come to condemn the world, but to save it. So let's obey Jesus. Let's transform the world. Let's change it. If everyone who called themselves a Christian actually obeyed Jesus, the world would be a much better place.